Greetings, gardeners. Here I am again in one of my favorite crops, the corn crop. It's ripe, but I have people ask me quite frequently, Bill, how do you tell when sweet corn is ready to pick? Well, first thing first, corn's got to make silk, right? Silk takes about 2 weeks from the time that the silk comes on fully, and then it starts to turn brown and the ear ripens. When the silk turns brown, as you can see right here, we have brown silk on this particular ear. That ear would be just about ready to pick. Now there's 2 tests that you can easily make. One, grab the ear, give it a good squeeze. This feels fat and heavy. If it felt thin and narrow, it's not filled out. But this has a lot of heft to it. Also, it's okay to peek. So if you take the husk and peel it down a little bit like this, obviously you can see that is a good ear. It's ready to go, okay? Don't be timid about peeking, okay? It's all right to look inside of an ear by peeling down the husk just a little bit at the end and have a look in there, and you can tell. You can always put it back up. If it isn't ripe, you just close the husk up. It's not going to hurt the corn at all. Ain't that beautiful? Look at this. Yeah, that is the Hawaiian Super Sweet number 11. This one. Now I'm going to wander on down the row here, and I'm going to look for other silk that's turned brown. All right, so let's see how I did here. Sure enough, look at that. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Perfect. And filled to the tip. This corn patch was a little unusual. Ordinarily, I always plant 4 rows by 4 rows, okay? You need to have enough corn together to have pollen get from the tussles to the silk on all the ears. If the pollen doesn't make it, you're going to end up with the tips not filled. If it's pretty bad, they're going to be all bumpy and weird. When you get cobs of corn and you open them up and you see that there's a kernel here, a kernel there, big hole here, it means you're not getting enough pollination. Some varieties of corn don't pollinate as well as others. I know the open pollinated UH varieties, they're kind of light on pollen. The hybrid ones are not. They're strong with pollen, but you still have to get enough stalks in a group to be able to cover all the silk. And the way you do that is make sure when you're planting your corn that you have at least 4 rows wide in the patch by at least 4 individuals down the row in each row, okay? 4 by 4 is the rule, just like a Jeep. Otherwise, the other alternative is you can use the Native American technique, which was often to plant the corn in circles. I usually used about 3-foot circles. The stalks, I would separate them by about 8 or 10 inches going around the circle. So you'd have this circular clump of corn. That also pollinates because the pollen falls in the circle. That works too. So if you're only growing a little bit of corn, using the circular form will work out just fine. Oh, look at that. I guessed good again, huh? All filled out. Perfect. Oh, man. So I kind of cheated here, I said, on this patch because I couldn't find the room to get 4 rows across the patch. It just wasn't here today. So I did 3 by 4, and it did work out. But this is a strong pollinating corn. There's another one right here. And I have already peeked. I peeled this down just a bit, and you see it's filled out. She's done. So there you have it, folks. Another crop of corn successful in Hawaii. Hawaii is an excellent climate for raising corn. That's a crop that I definitely do well with over here. I do recommend, if you're growing sweet corn, using the Hawaiian varieties. They're really good. But other varieties of corn also work here too. We brought in quite a few different corns and tested them over time. So make sure you plant either circular patterns or 4x4 rows. Don't hesitate when you want to check that corn after the silks turn brown. Peel down the tip just a little bit and look in there, and you can peek, all right, see how it looks to tell whether it's ready or not. And then otherwise, squeeze in the ear. If it feels full and fat, you're ready to pick. Aloha, hang loose, and happy gardening.